I'm joined today by Dodgeball celebrities JP Nuyens, Mr. Dodgeball 2017, and Steph Ness, Cloth Squad member for Team Canada. And we're going to be taking a look at one of JP's games today, actually. It's going to be Tony's Tigers versus Sea Bears. A lot of these guys coming from, I believe, Tempest. Of course, I think Greg.
Zeal, Dark Horse, but yeah, Tempest.
All right, JP Nuyens.
Yeah. So
tell me about this game. What can we expect to see?
Well, we can expect to see some fireworks right off the bat. I don't want to spoil it, but it was nail biter throughout. I was trying not to lose my cool on myself and everybody within earshot, but yeah, it was an exciting game. I love playing against these guys, all from Winnipeg, Manitoba. I have one of their jerseys. I was wearing it round robin. Probably bad luck for me, bad juju.
They were great jerseys, though. The sea is a bear.
Yeah.
Mind blown. This little exchange, there's quite a headshot.
Yeah, that's Connor. He literally got picked up on this team like the day before. His last name is Panda. I'm sure that's not his real last name. Tempest has been coming along for a couple of years now, mainly helmed by Nathaniel Gatza, also on the mixed cloth squad in 2024, and Owen Kemble. He's primarily a handball player. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing in Canada, and so taking some of that other throwing sport into dodgeball, and he's transitioned also in it being a pretty damn good cloth player as well. So yeah,
I saw JP's games happening throughout the day because there was a lot on stream, and their teams got significantly better than the first time they played the Sea Bears.
Well, we're quite an old team, so it took us a while to warm up to it. And we have some very aggressive players like Jack playing up really high. Dwayne plays up really high.
Kemble up in the left, making a risky move here, dies immediately, and then does a faux pas.
Yeah, you're right. He passed that ball when he got out, which is a no-no. Gatza loves, like he's doing right there, loves to push up on you. Devlin, he's off right now, is like super fast, like probably one of the fastest people at this tournament.
So I want to take a look at the play that happens here. Something happens over on the side of Sea Bears, and then the refs blow the whistle, and they have a discussion about it. Do you know exactly what went on?
So this is a weird situation. I think they were called play 2. Both of them, like Gatza came up with 2 balls. See, they throw 1. Play 2 was called. Nobody throws. Technically, by the letter of the law, both of them should be out. Because I think if you don't throw, it's whoever's still holding a ball has to be out, and they're both holding a ball. That's what I.
This
that's
was
what I
a
thought
heavily disputed rule. This came up recently. My understanding is you are incorrect, and only one of them is dead. Anyone holding a ball is dead, but you are relieved of that responsibility once you release the ball.
But they're both holding.
According to the way the rules are written, yes, I do think those 2 players are out. But it just comes down to is this a rule set as a team sport, or is this a rule set as an individual?
I'm feeling vindicated by that.
We'll bring in a special witness.
Oh yeah, we got a special
from
judge,
the WDBF, and we'll see. So we see a little bit of a fun play here. There can't be a lot of time left on this clock, so pretty eager to close this. Decides to go for a flight kill, or what are we calling them now? Leaps of faith.
Yeah, both of those work. I would have liked to see Dwayne doing something there.
Dwayne, our guy in the red shirt.
As soon as he gets in the air, just take the shot, because if he ends up killing Jack there, then it's a 1-1, and then
you're right.
It's a tie, absolutely. So you might as well hit him.
Yeah, I do like the block backs. They knew they were up bodies. They weren't trying to, there's 10 seconds left. Like, it was very well played in terms of time left on the clock, but you're right. I think that extra player could have run down, made sure to make a hit, because if there was a connection, you're right, it would have been tied at 1. I'm really like watching this like back and forth rundown. I think your side's putting pressure, which is great, and I do think the Sea Bears maybe aren't like they're coming up right now, but they hadn't been. They've been throwing a lot of like back line, and I do think they could have caught you guys a little bit flat-footed, but they didn't take advantage of shortening the distance between you on that
Yeah,
rundown.
and they have the people to do it. Riel also another super fast guy.
Yeah.
Owen has the capabilities, but we noticed early that if we threw at him, it would sort of save ourselves from being thrown at. But if you don't throw at him, he's immediately throwing at someone, and he would take a lot of those opportunities. And the first time we played them, we just weren't living in those situations. So it was like to be able to shut him down made a huge difference in this game.
I wanted to highlight something here. We see David Mpofo come up to the
I
line. He's
love
calling
this.
for a wing to throw, and just chaos ensues. Counters from every lockup.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. Owen, if Owen's lockup throws and it's not at Owen, he's taking that shot.
So, what is the communication issue here where you throw every ball? Or was that intentional?
Oh
Just to wrap
no,
it up.
no, 100% not intentional. We struggled with 4-ball plays all day. No one would throw, and then play ball gets called, and then panic.
When you're on a team that you don't typically play with, it's hard because not everyone communicates the same way. So,
I just
Yeah,
thought
some
if I just say it loud enough and authoritatively enough, it'll work. I see you're already teeing up this play, and I wanted to say right away, Dwayne is very sneaky in some of his plays. Like he's already shading up like a little bit on the side here, because as you notice, the Sea Bears guy, there's two of them and they're already on one side of the court. Like that, you can already tell where they're going, and Dwayne's like, it's not me. And as soon as he looks away, Dwayne smells blood, chases him down.
Under the block too, right? Like
Yeah.
that was such a beautifully placed shot, and Dwayne's just got the sidearm that is a little bit tricky to read.
Yeah, okay, so here it was he died and passed the ball, so we get it back, which we talked about shouldn't necessarily be a case, but it is what it is. But yeah, in that case, if I'm on the Sea Bear side, I'm telling our guys, like, after we throw, get out, because of Tony can run him down, and Pofo can run him down, Dwayne can run him down, so get out after you throw. Oof.
This right now, you guys, like there's still a minute on the clock. It's 4v1. I mean, they get it done obviously pretty quickly, but I still like the pressure. I don't think it's late enough in the game to just sit back. 4v1 is a good differential, where I consider in cloth dodgeball a 2-player advantage to be like the most dangerous spot, because any catch evens you out and gives the other team the like boost that they need to then potentially push it over. But I like that you guys kept the pressure on there and kept targeting him.
I think a lot of it is dictated by who's left on the court. If it's someone like Greg Pacheco on the other side, and we'll see this later, I'm literally telling our team to not throw at him, to dirt it if you can.
Another thing that we're going to see here from Jack in just a moment is another sort of typical foam move, which is sort of fishing. Do you feel like there's, I mean, he gets 3 balls and stays alive and executes it wonderfully, but do you feel like that's transferable to cloth?
Only because we're not playing Austria, honestly, or like GB or Northern Ireland, because it's literally, you do that against them, they just throw one guy at you and it's from an angle and he's gonna hit you.
I think it'd be fair to say too, Jeff, you're at a point where a lot of these guys are coming from foam. They may have not calibrated their arm fully, and so I think this is what you're getting at, is you got to test their accuracy a little bit. Any European team is more likely to be more experienced with these balls, and so that accuracy comes a lot easier to them. Would I get 4 feet from them? Probably no.
Munchie gets a great snag there. Hoppenbauer has a great pre-throw on Riel Wilmot. Disarms him at the line.
Hey, there, we executed
Nice
the
shot.
play correctly. Well,
And
they
then follow
threw
up with 2
anyways.
more.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Well, spoke too soon, I guess.
Is this a teammate calling him out? What's going on here?
I think he touched the line here, and Jessica Jeffries, line ref, called that. So not a hit, but I'll take the out for sure.
This is one of those instances, 22 seconds. I think they just block back, great block backs to the other side. I don't see a reason to put pressure. 20 seconds, you're up 4-0. Valid misses exist for a reason. You're within that meter. Force him to make the most incredible play that he possibly could.
I do want to take a moment to talk about this, because this is almost a block catch, which had the potential to turn this around. So we've got Ampofa with a block. It's right in Devlin's hands, and then you guys managed to knock it out.
Yeah, in my opinion, Devlin should have just gone up and jumped for that, because you don't even need points of contact. Just jump up and get it.
Yeah.
There still would have been really hard to do anything with like 13 seconds left, but it would have been, he probably would have got hit, so it would have been 1-on-3, but who knows?
I think the whole team, your whole side too, like realized, oh, that was maybe not ideal, and everyone threw. Like it wasn't just one person trying to how do we recover from this?
I was very animated in that huddle. I'm basically saying all that just very loud. When time's counting down and they're like 15, 14, they're like, throw. And after all of that, everybody's too hype and we just false started. Luckily, we only lose one there, but holy.
Yeah, they opted to throw 3. Probably the right call. Yeah, get Hoppenbauer out. It's a priority target. Nice
Good
catch.
play.
Yeah, that was one of those moments where I identified that like Owen was definitely throwing, and I thought my lockup was not really going to do anything about it, so I tried to cover a lot of ground. And then I get out, and then I get out on a double. So
yeah, let's take a look at this. Okay, so hit
actually
once.
That second one shouldn't have.
Let's see if that ball's live. Yeah,
it goes straight down, dead.
Ooh.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I got a catch, and now I think I'm a catcher. So here I am just going for a catch, and I should have just dodged because I don't know what I'm doing. And I got my teammate killed.
Oh, and is that a disarm kill? Yeah,
I think so.
And this is a scary thing here. Gatsa coming forward with 2 balls in hand, and I literally was yelling from the sidelines, he can't block with 2 balls. Wayne kind of keeps people back because of his stupid little push pass thing. I say stupid because he killed me with it a couple times during mixed.
So you're mad at it.
Yeah, exactly. But like he keeps coming forward with these 2 balls and living. Good for him.
Yeah, and this is part of the game too that's just so much fun. I just, I really excited about all the tournaments that Dodgeball Hub is putting on for to increase the cloth experience in our country, but man, just a little bit more practice in this style, and that when he laid out flat, he would have just got smashed, like full smash, and it would have been amazing.
It's the worst when you're like, oh, I've got you now, full rundown, full throw, and it just comes out a little bit high. Yeah, appreciate the free plug there, Steph.
You're welcome.
See, 2 shots thrown and missed.
How does he live there? And he tries the same move again. Yeah. I don't know. He must have like 9 lives. I have no idea how he lived through any of those things.
Just deciding not to even contest this center ball anymore, hey?
You're
up.
Slow
Save
and
your energy.
old, man.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
I mean,
Munchie got the pop-up, though, at the end.
Yeah,
Joel tried to save himself, and then I guess Joel would be first in the queue.
He does.
Out
He
to the
comes
box and back in.
Yeah. I don't know how Devlin doesn't kill David here.
Well, and that coverage from all the way across the court does just skim him. That's good accountability on Devlin's part, because that looked clean.
It did look clean.
But he had no business getting that close to him. Just throw the ball already. You don't need to get right up in his pocket. I mean, because it's cloth, I've missed a couple of point blankers that weekend. So.
And Pofo took a second to throw there, and still, maybe he did get him.
Oh, you got him.
Yeah, okay, so it must have just been off the leg and into the ground.
Yeah.
Because I will say that's something that David did really well all weekend, was actually taking his time to complete his full throw, his full follow through, and he was hitting toes all weekend.
And there's Greg doing Greg things.
Oh, yeah, that was the is he concussed moment of the day.
He's fine. He does take a beating in this match anyways, but that's one of those things where it's like the adrenaline's flowing. We're up 4-0, running him down. A minute 40 left. Like, it's not enough time to like dog it out, but also that's the one guy I was literally saying no solos on that guy. That doesn't mean we can't throw at him, but no solos. I only have one rule. No solos on that guy.
Joel and Dwayne being smart here, just going for the block backs.
Yes, I like that. And I do like this rundown. Like, block through it, keep going.
And the catch! Look at that.
Yeah. Chose the right time, got him,
He's out, but he did make that catch. So Munchie comes back on for that. A solo on Greg. Greg, it hit him. And then he said, did it hit my ball that was in front of me? But it definitely did not. I've watched this a couple times. And so he just kind of gets away with it, and we just got to redo it. But there's 18 seconds left. But again, no reason to do that. Absolutely.
You're right.
We're up 5-1.
That's one of those. Again, if there was a minute 30 on the clock, maybe there's 22 seconds and you're up 8-0.
Against anyone else, sure. Not this guy.
The big thing, too, there is, you know what, you were 5v1. The chances of him turning that with a catch in 18 seconds are very low. But then it becomes 4v2. And let's say one of your teammates goes, and I need to trail it to try to hit him as he's making the catch, and he boom, because he's that good, right? And then he catches another one. Well, now it's 3-3. It's a cascading effect.
I've always said stupid plays are infectious.
Euros 2021 in the final, Austria versus England, and England made like 4 catches in the last 10 seconds.
We were talking about push pass kills earlier.
Yeah.
It's a good one. He's so tall, a push pass goes to the shoulders. That's wild.
Yeah, and did you see how Dwayne approached that? The whole time his ball's out like this, like, come on. Yeah.
And then there was one.
Yeah, this is the TSN turning point, honestly. This was the 90-second set where all the mistakes just came and bit us in the ass, and
they only decided to throw momentum. 2 there.
I had basically said, after Owen throws, if we survive, you are greenlit to throw at him. And that was our best chance to get him out because he's a very good blocker on the back line. And we just saw that play out right there on the transition.
Yeah, really nice hit by Joel.
And yet we had one ball left, and I went to pass it to Joel because I knew they were going at him. I was trying to give him a shield, and that didn't help him. I wouldn't even say we're playing bad.
You're just dumping too many, and you're not putting yourselves in an offensive position. Like, yeah, you're doing good transition in the sense that you're pushing and throwing, but you're doing it still in your end of the court. So you're not closing the gap. They're just standing, so they're not biting. They're their body's well positioned to make the play, and so you're missing.
When I just died and traded, if you hear the commentary, it's Megan basically saying, "Oh, JP shouldn't be trading in this situation.
Why are you so close, bro? Why are you so close?"
Yeah. He jumped in the air. I was trying to hit him on the way down, and then he threw at me. I didn't expect it.
I mean, looking objectively now, do you think that was the right play?
No, push pass is the right play.
Yes. And I think what Seabears here was doing, like, it was 1v multiple people.
Yeah, 4,
and the players that weren't in the play because they didn't have balls stood at the back. They didn't get closer. They didn't give an opportunity to get hit. They weren't chasing catches. They didn't have to because they were up 5-1. Just stay alive. Be ready for a pop-up. Be ready for something that can kill the player, but you don't need to be up. Number 17, is that Riel?
Yes.
Riel Wilmot, yeah.
Yeah, great play there. Dropping really quick to committing to the block and then snapping back up to run down halfway up the court super fast.
How did you guys do on the rush over the day?
We basically didn't really try for the rush, but Joel was pretty fast. And Pofo's really fast. And Dwayne's fast, but he didn't run. And I ain't running, so.
You basically have a team North America on the court right now. You've got America, Mexico, and Canada all represented.
Yeah, and it was like I had never met Munchie and Pofo. great guys. I would definitely play with them once again. Meanwhile, on the other side it's like all Manitoba. I'm not going to card someone for swearing. I don't know if it's the rules. If it is the rules, I think it's stupid.
That's a great toe shot on you.
It was a bounce.
Yeah, it bounced in front of him.
I don't think we have the right angle for this.
Should have just stuck to jumping. Every time I went low, I got hit. So just jump. Jack and Dwayne, they played together a long time. Oh, and Dwayne normally gets those.
That's true, but I do think he's a little trigger happy there. Like, he doesn't need to take that second throw, especially considering that Jack missed. You're just setting yourself up in a position where you have to make that defensive move, and when you're down players, that's not the play.
No, it's
18 seconds left. I mean, something needed to happen, but maybe not that.
I think the push pass did kill. Didn't matter in that moment.
Didn't matter, yeah, because unless he made a catch there while he was doing it, it was not going to win.
Way to not give up, though.
So, yeah, it was a 10-0 lead, and it's not looking good right now for your boy. Very aggressive on Joel, and then he's going to pay for it here. And then very aggressive on Dwayne.
Lots of balls flying here.
Definitely a play ball was called. You can see the referee's hands go up, and that's because they, Sea Bears, were at the line making the call. The interception ball comes up, and instead of staying on offense, they backed away as if they were coming off of the play, and so instantly play ball is going to be called to keep you active.
Potential line out there by Pacheco, but he gets hit anyway. He just loves that back line. Doesn't want to give up a centimeter of space.
Somehow, after all of that, we're up 2. So I've watched that now a couple of dozen times. It's definitely a hit, but was called a bounce. Obviously, there's weird things with like angles and like, oh, it looks like it hits and whatever, but it's like as far as this angle is concerned, it was definitely a hit.
I do like that hold from your team running them down. It was getting a little crazy. There was balls like, again, reacting to a play rather than like setting up. Also, that was wild. That was nuts. That was...
Oh my
David doing a lot here. Can we just pause for a moment and enjoy
a block,
this
a jump, a hit catch, and a miss, but still alive.
Not gonna fault him for that. It was a pretty good sequence.
It was incredible. It was so good.
And I was basically saying I don't mind all of that as long as they get out Owen in that situation. So in that case, good job. That was an amazing move. And it's like 1v3 here, but we're feeling pretty good about it. He throws at me. Tomahawk.
Nice patience. Nice patience. And I love how he's distracting him, taking all his focus. Not that he could really like do a 360 when he's on his butt like that, but Jack just hits him in the back.
I had no idea what they were waiting for. Like, I'm sitting there going like I don't have a ball to help out because I would have thrown it already. Because I'm just like, he's just doing this in front of him, like, hey, look at the ball, look at the ball. And Jack's like, yeah, hit you from behind. It's like they drew that one up. It's like they'd done that before. I think I got Gatsa there.
Oh, beautiful toe shot.
So this is another one of those ones where, like, again, now I start feeling myself and I do this again and it costs us. Oh, yeah, I'll just do it again. And then I'm dead. Good for Tony. He still got those hops. I didn't think he'd still have it. Nice shot by Joel. I don't know if he's normally a cloth player, but very above average throws. This, unfortunately, is one of the things that drives me crazy. Ball coming in from the side.
Looking for the shagger, yeah.
Like, you can't stop the bleeding sometimes. Like, is it just one of those days? Is it just going to be like that? Could have been invalid by Tony. I have one rule. Don't throw solos at Greg.
Here, in this game, though, this is one of those things like, you're throwing two balls, they're trying to get their hit, which I understand with the time on the clock, and this is a great catch by Tony. But again, a tie or a draw goes in your favor with the time on the clock. Like,
and to take up the rest of the minute, like we don't even need to close this out. If this is Austria, and that's Leitinger 1v3ing us, I'd be like, okay, well, we need to close this because we can't just like stay on the back line and live. And this is no shade to Devlin, MVP world champion level player. It's very different.
If this was Austria, the score would be far different, and you would have to win.
Shush. In some magical world, if we happen to be up 7-3 in sets, sure, yeah. Why you gotta take away my dreams? Why can't you let me dream?
I'm a realist, man.
Yeah, okay, so am I. Maybe we're only up one set or down one set. I don't know.
There's no way.
Shut up already. Shut up. I don't understand how this game just went to 3-on-3, but I'm doing a pretty good job surviving. Everybody's throwing.
Riel's just looking for a catch.
Yeah.
Don't throw at the guy kneeling down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm lined up against Owen, and he makes that catch, which I'm dead now. Look at him sprinting for the ball too.
And that was a really fast win too. Like I think that was about 90 seconds, maybe less than 90 seconds.
And
that's a huge win.
When this situation was told to me, they said it was like 6 minutes and 1 second left. So I was like, oh crap. So it's literally 3 sets, like minimum.
Properly timed timeout can actually get you a whole extra set, at least another 90 seconds in the last little bit.
I'm screaming at my team, telling them, like, even if we lose, take every second possible. We just lost that last match by throwing all these stupid catches, and I kept saying, like, just like lose slowly if you have to. Like,
I think the issue with telling people to like lose slowly or survive is that they forget that they still have to be on offense sometimes. So then it hinders their like good offensive play calling.
Ooh.
Big jump by
Joel.
Joel
almost kicks Jack in the head there.
Owen goes down here and we lose Tony. I would argue fair trade for us.
For sure, but at the same time, if you're telling your team to survive, why put that pressure? Why run up that close?
Because Owen is their key to success. I basically said, like, under no circumstances should Owen just be able to take shots on us and live. If any one of us dies to take out Owen, they're significantly more diminished than we are by losing any one of our players. And I was like, but that's Greg. And then the other middle didn't even throw. So we still have to throw here. And then he throws that. And I'm like,
and that gets Owen back on the court.
Yeah, exactly. So then it would just completely negated all the good stuff we had done earlier. In no circumstance should we be throwing any balls at Greg in that situation. Good for him. He made that catch. He keeps doing it. I hate him for it.
He went fishing for it too.
Yeah, for sure.
He
he was not going to throw that ball. He was basically going to drop it and go for a catch. And that's what he did. So just ignore him.
Well, you think you've got a ball, so they're probably not going to catch, right? That's usually the safe throw, and I think that's just the person aside what's been drilled into some people's heads when they're playing cloth. Nice pop-up catch.
Riel touches it as well. So he goes for it. They both touch it, and then Devlin comes down with it. But while that's happening, they're in the air. My ball comes through and hits both of them in the legs and then hits the ground.
That's what happened.
And then while they're doing this and haven't landed yet, they haven't secured it. I am surprised that the refs made this call because I only saw it back like in super slow motion, frame by frame, and I could make that call.
Oh, and dancing on that line. He might have been hovering.
No, he was 100% on it.
I don't know. I could see that being
okay, listen,
hover.
Can you slow it down? Because he's not only on it, he pushes off of it.
I think he's on his tippy toes.
Flat. He's not. His foot goes super flat, and he pushes off of it. It's his only right there.
I don't know.
flat, flat, flat. You're gonna turn me into the Joker. This is like I'm saying at the time, whatever. Like I didn't even see this, but looking back on it, it's 1,000% he's on the line, and I expect restitution. And I'm sorry you can't agree with me, so you got to be wrong.
20 seconds left in this set. All you have to do is get one hit.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
I would much rather see a team up by this much take immediate counters from the back line based on who's throwing, right? They have 3 balls, you have 2. If their left side throws, your right corner has the opening to take that shot because they can't then get countered, right? As if the person in front of you throws, you're the open throw. I would just like to see valid miss counters. You're turfing them at their feet. You're going a little wide to keep them on offense, and just like only ever give them 3. You're never giving them more. You're never setting them up to throw more than 1 ball until there's 10 seconds left in the game, 20 seconds left in the game. Stand at the back. You're focusing on dodging, and it just makes it a lot easier instead of just like rundowns and so many people putting themselves or waiting for that extra ball or needing the extra ball to then get to offense. Don't get closer to them. There's no reason to open up transitional plays.
Yeah, that sounds like advanced strategy, and this is more like, oh, I guess we're playing dodgeball, throw balls. That's the name of the game. The talk is about like what time was left on the clock, how much time it was. Like, is there 2 sets left? Is there 1 full set and then a 90-second set coming? Like, and all we need is 1 more.
All you need to tell your team is to get through 3 minutes. Like, that's it. Get through 3 minutes on court.
I have a feeling we don't.
Nice catch by Hoppenbauer, though. Whew.
Yeah, that gives you a little bit more breathing room. It's nice to have that. Gats are probably going to throw here. See? Go
that
low.
Was good on the retreat for Dwayne, but you guys came up so high, whereas you could just be valid missing a little bit in front of them and not coming up quite so high to make those throws.
Yeah, and I'm surprised they didn't take some of these like counter opportunities on us, but I think because they just realized that their throws were working, so...
If you got good legs and you're still feeling strong and you can get back quickly, then yeah, maybe give yourself an advantage. 6-on-6 is still really hard to, like, you don't want to get those balls coming at you. It's crowded on court, but like if you're not feeling, you just throw wide from the back. Only ever give them 3. If they have 4 players, don't give them 4 balls. If they have less than 4, cool. Yeah, maybe give them a 4th ball. Who cares? There's only 3 of them.
Well, it's not by design, I can tell you that.
Oh, nice heads up awareness, Devlin, with that catch.
Unfortunate for the pop up, but you got to be good to be lucky.
And then we throw 2. We need to take a minute here.
Yeah, that many players just there. I would have liked to see a counter from Ampofo.
But there you want to see a counter? You just told us to slow it down.
No, because here's the thing. 40 seconds on the clock. Why get closer? And Pofo takes that wide counter, a miss counter, if you want to call it that, a valid miss, right? The other team still has 3 balls. By the time they retrieve that ball, that adds time on the clock. By the time they make their play call, that adds time on the clock, and nobody on your side even got closer.
The decisions. They had 20 seconds left on the clock to force another point.
And Joel doesn't even need to throw this right away.
Joel throws that ball. I mean, he is going to get a play ball, but I would just wait out the time on that. Get that second ball in your possession first.
Wicked call on Seabears to go for that leap of faith. Wicked idea and good execution of it, because you knew there was not a lot of time on the clock. We need any amount of time to win this, so let's just close it out. There's no reason not to. I don't think JP can take this one away from you.
Yeah, and then we have a 90-second set, and I was like, how did we even get here? We could have just coasted the second half, and yet we're spending a ton of energy to just barely squeak by, myself included. Not a bad idea going for Owen, but Riel doing a good job protect the president.
1 minute on the clock. You are down bodies.
Yeah, it's looking a little scary. M. Povo is clearly MVP and wins us this match with some magic. And that was like a hit and a catch by Mpofo, and then I think a follow up with Dwayne, thankfully.
Good hold there by Dwayne. Like the whole other matches before, anyone in that corner was running up and dumping a ball.
You just said slow it down, and then he threw our fourth ball, so it's like, and then I do that. I got that. Oh, by the way, I think I've hit that kid like 3 times with that move. Like I know exactly when he's throwing, and then I've just abused him now for like the 3rd time. And then Munchie somehow gets that.
Hail Mary throw, beautiful catch, man. And Tony with his little happy dance. And Greg Pacheco dying of a cramp.
Munchie like body checked me. He hurt me on that.
Hey, well played by Sea Bears. That was a tight and exciting game, so good choice, my friends.
Listen, recency bias. We also played really well in the first half.
Not necessarily disputing that. I feel like we gave you a lot of flowers. We gave you a lot of flowers over this call.
I've been on the receiving end of much worse comebacks, so I'm thankful to not have this one also on my trophy case. So,
JP, Steph, what would you like to see change in the Canadian cloth landscape? You know, it's not at Euros level yet.
More buy-in, I think, from Dodgeball Canada on supporting the cloth players. And, you know, of course, there's not a whole lot, but there are so many foam tournaments, and there is one cloth tournament. It's often not advertised as much. It's often not provided with the amount of refs or respect for the rules that exist. You know, we're all excited to see the championship that's coming on October 4th with the provincial teams to see who comes out first. I'm surprised there's not a cloth division. Our foam team is so deep. It's so deep. It's wild how much talent we have. But not everyone can make Team Canada. And I know so many of those players, if they transitioned to learning or at least buying into both styles, they have the potential to still represent our country, grow this sport, and match up with the players that you see in Europe. Like, I do think we have that talent. They're just not being found right yet. And learn the rules. That's it. Man, I love rules so hard, and I just think, you know, that does lack a little bit.
I refuse to learn the rules. Yeah, so sort of just to piggyback on what she said, essentially, I even said this after day 1, that if even half the people that were playing in that tournament tried out for Cloth Team Canada, the situation would be drastically different. Ball skills are transferable. Doesn't matter what ball type it is. You know, strategy, catching, dodging, blocking, all those things are the same. The only thing that's different is the fact that that ball doesn't have all that drop and curve, and it's hard to actually throw it properly if you've never thrown one.
I think within 2 months you can teach anyone to be very accurate with a cloth ball. I think the hardest part is getting to people to buy in on these rules. Like, the rules are actually incredible. They have purpose if you learn them. This version of the sport is just as athletic and strong and smart. People got to stop blaming the rules. It's rude. I don't want to hear it. It's rude. The game is great. And shout out to all the Europeans and the Americans who really bought into this cloth game too. There's so much support behind their cloth players, and I think that's great.
Yeah.
Well, I think at least one of the rules is stupid. I should not be out because I blocked a ball that goes back over the line and they catch.
No, that's great television. That's great.
It's
television.
great TV.
Sure, but as a man who prides himself in his blocking, I hate that I now have to think, okay, block it down, or I hit a guy, and it bounces off of him and also hits me, and I'm out. He didn't throw that. I threw it. I hit him.
Listen,
I'm out. Nah, that's
in both games, there's things that maybe aren't ideal for the game, but I'd have to say,
sure,
like, the only 2 things that are tough for me to grasp is the rush being the way it is not as exciting as I think it could be. So it might be, if you know, especially for a ball type that is looking for viewership, yes, two people running for the ball in the middle, but if they touch each other or anything, one of them's out. That's not as exciting. I have to give it to foam. Foam rushes, primo, incredible. And then the only other thing is the no team catches. I know from speaking to some Europeans that it's like, yeah, but your throw, you did the best throw, you hit the guy out, they should still be out. And I'm sitting here like, but it's a team sport and the ball has not touched a dead object. So
Just let me pass balls to teammates, man. That's the only thing that I have a gripe with. Just let me pass the ball. Um, yeah, any shout outs, any resources you want to mention to people looking to get into cloth? Any final words from either of you cloth veterans?
Shout out to Sea Bears for letting me win that game. Thank you. No, seriously. Shout out to all of Manitoba. I hadn't really met most of the people from Winnipeg and Manitoba, so it was nice to finally meet them off the court, and they're all super nice people. They like to party. They are quite rowdy, and I already knew that, and it was confirmed.
big shout out to the players out of Hamilton who really, especially Dodgeball Niagara, really buying into bringing this cloth game to Canada, because it's something that I never would have experienced without them. And I want to give a shout out to Alberta, Dodgeball Alberta, too. Huge community in Edmonton buying into this game, starting drop-ins. I think Winnipeg also has some drop-ins for cloth, and without you guys, it wouldn't be growing in our country. And I think let's go out there in however many years and prove them wrong. Let's go prove that Canada can do this too, and we can get 6 gold medals.
Well, on that note, thanks for tuning in, friends. If you're from Canada, play some cloth, try some cloth, coach some cloth. We need more of those too. And until next time, we'll see you on another Thursday with some other dodgeball. I think we want to cover the Pan Americano, maybe get some Spanish speaking hosts up in here. So I will just smile and nod. See you soon.